Hi, my new students. My name is Lindy Jansen, and I will be your teacher at Kava here. We recently got a huge plethora of new students, so I'm kind of sending this out to all of you at the same time to make sure all my bases are covered. I will be sending you a lot of emails this week, mainly today and tomorrow. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to take those emails one by one, go through them, print off what is necessary, and keep close by you what you want. For example, you might want to print off the school calendar and keep it by your desk. You might want to print off your ILP when it comes, which we will talk about those later, and keep it by your desk, your pacing guide, your assignments, different directions on how to do things, PE logs, those sorts of things. One thing that I like to tell my parents and my students especially is that here at Kava it's an excellent experience, and I think that you will find the curriculum to be just phenomenal. I've been teaching for a really long time. I'm really old. 16th year of teaching this year. And I believe this is one of the best curriculums I've ever seen, if not the best. So I think you will be really happy with that. That being said, it's a little bit like riding a bike. When we first start, you may feel really overwhelmed and you may feel like there's just too much to do. That's really common. And I just want to encourage you to take it day by day, take it step by step. Ask me any questions you have anytime. And if you've already asked me the question, don't be embarrassed to ask me again, because I know it's a lot coming at you at one time, and you may just feel like, you need to ask the same question again, and that's perfectly fine. Don't hesitate to do that. That being said, I make a point of keeping myself available to my students as much as I possibly can. Technically, our hours are 8:30 to 4:30. That being said, I am not someone who shuts off my computer or turns off my phone, and you can't reach me outside of those hours. You may feel free to call me, text me, email me, whatever you need to do, even if it's in the evenings or holidays or weekends or whatever. I know that sometimes you will be working on those times and you may need to get a hold of me. If you text me, I do ask that you identify who you are, because I have several students, nearly 40, and I don't have everyone's number in my phone. So, for example, if your student's name is Abraham, and I don't have an Abraham in my class, but if your student was Abraham, you might just start out your text by saying, hey, this is Abraham, or this is Abraham's LC, and then go ahead and ask me. That will help me to be able to answer you more specifically. Excuse me. In a phone call, if you happen to call me and I'm not able to get to my phone, I may be in a meeting, I may be with another student. If it's after hours, I may be with my own 3 boys, loud, crazy boys. And I may need to just let it go to voicemail and then try to step away where I can get somewhere quiet enough to talk to you. That is a little bit of the collateral damage. I do tell my families, if you call after hours, you run the risk of hearing my kids in the background. I can't always control that, but I swear I do my best. There are 3 main things that you'll want to do and complete today looking at the emails that I will be sending you. First and foremost, you'll want to complete your master agreement, also known as the ISMA. This will be sent to you from a website that will say something like Kava at SPSIS, SISSS, Kava at SPSSIS. There you go. There will be 2 places for you to sign. The LC and the student will need to sign in both these places. One will be at top and one will be at the bottom. You will need to date it with today's date. And you will also want to sign it exactly how you type your name in the box. If you sign with your middle name, you need to type your middle name in the box. And we also need to make sure that there's no nicknames and no initials. For example, if your name was Carl John and you signed with CJ, because that's what you go by, it would be rejected by administration and we'd have to re-sign it. This is the form that proves that you are enrolled in school, that you have your student enrolled in school, so it's extremely important. It's the main enrollment requirement to get started here. Second of all, there are Scantron assessments, one for math and one for reading. You will see an email that covers all of this, how to log on, which ones to take, etc. But it's important that you know you only need to take math and reading. Sometimes you'll see on there other reading tests, reading foundations, for example, but you only need to take the one that says reading, okay? What this does is it gives us a nice little baseline. We're able to kind of have an idea of where your student's at, where we need to place them, and if your student needs extra challenges because he or she maybe is advanced, or perhaps your student needs extra support. Maybe they weren't in an environment before they came to CAVA that helped them to stay on pace. So these assessments should take approximately 20 minutes each. They are not timed, and they should be done completely by the student only. I know sometimes, I'm a mom too, it's tempting, you want to help your student and whatnot, but this really needs to be just the student doing it. The score does not affect their grade in any way, shape, or form, okay? Lastly, the other thing that needs to be done, hopefully today, if not at least by the end of the day tomorrow, is there are 2 introductory courses in your online school. The first one is ILP, Individual Learning Plan, Welcome to Scantron. You'll want to click on that, and underneath there you will see 3 to 5 lessons depending on where your student is, and you will need to complete each of those lessons so that the entire course is completed. You will also need to complete Welcome to Online Learning. The same situation here. You will want to click on the title of the course and complete each one. Total to complete these 2 courses in their entirety will be anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes each. That being said, you have less than 2 hours of work to do as far as completing both of these online courses to get started. The 2 Scantron assessments, and signing your ISMA. You must complete the courses because when those are completed, the rest of your lessons will populate. And those lessons are, of course, your math, your language arts, your science, your history, your extracurriculars, whatever it may be, those will all populate at that time. And we will also be setting up a face-to-face meeting. I can't wait. In the next couple weeks, probably. It usually takes a couple weeks to kind of get everything going and to have a place where we can sit down and talk. We can go over the Scantron assessments, where your student's at, how everyone's feeling. I can answer any questions. In the meantime, if you'd like to get together with me or have a phone conversation, please do so. I have called each one of you and none of you answered your phones. I left messages for everyone. I know sometimes it can be hectic, and when you don't know the number calling, maybe you don't answer. I'm kind of like that too. So just please be sure to give me a call back today so that we can just touch base and say hello. Pretty much all the information is included in this video that you will need. One last thing I wanted to say, and now it's going to slip my mind. Goodness gracious, what was it? Well, there you go. It's Monday. I cannot remember the last thing that I wanted to mention, and I'm sorry. I will probably do another video or send out an email when I think about it. But the most important things are to sign the ISMA, to complete the Scantron. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. And to complete those 2 courses in the online school. The other thing I wanted to say is one way that we kind of assess where your students are, because unfortunately when you come from other schools, you could be at a different place in the curriculum than we are, even though generally you should be at the same place. It just doesn't always happen, and we don't want students to either have to redo lessons that they've already done, because that's a waste of time and their educational experience, and we also don't want to put a child in a situation where they're moved so far ahead in class, but they haven't had that foundation that they really need. In your online school, under each course, once you've completed those first 2 courses that I mentioned, the Welcome to Online Learning and the ILP Scantron Assessment one, you will be able to click into each subject. For example, math. If you click into math on the left-hand side, you will see all the units for the entire year. Click on the units one by one, starting with Unit 1, and go to the unit assessment. Have your student take that unit assessment, and if he or she can pass that unit assessment, let me know. We can mark that unit off, because it is most likely that the student will have covered that in their previous educational environment. This is true for science, for history, for language arts courses, and for math. So please take some time once you finish those first 3 things and work through those unit assessments. Don't be alarmed if you find that your student isn't maybe able to complete those unit assessments. That also is not uncommon, but I do need to know so that we can make sure that he or she is appropriately placed. I hope that you're looking forward to being here at Kava. It's a really exciting educational experience, and I just like working with my parents. I like working with my students. I like working with all individuals involved. I'm very much a collaborator. So I value your opinion as parents. I think it's extremely important, especially since you're the learning coach in this environment. And I really look forward to working with you. I believe that I told you I would ask you a question at the end of this video. And the question is my hair in a ponytail or is it down? And it's down, because I actually washed it this morning. Okay, so if you could just respond to the email that had this link in it with the answer to how my hair was worn, because that way I know you've actually watched it, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much. Welcome to Kava, and I look forward to working with each of you.